Well, at least the Brazilians can actually look forward to. We've seen 2 or 3 of them, and there is a real chance that they will have a reasonable team to represent them at Rio. I mean, they sort of face the same sort of difficulties that the British team had putting a team together for London.
I don't know, I don't think they're in quite as bad state we were, but I think they're going to have a few lifters that will at least be able to contend in the A groups at the Olympics.
So, 188 the bong for Mohamed Hassan, but sadly he's lost that one as well, and at the moment left in 3rd place. And this is pretty interesting now, because Podium, the man from the B group, now really looking like taking quite a few scalps here.
Right, he got away with it on the previous attempt where he caught the weight high and then sat in. Here, didn't sit in fast enough there. He should have been in a lot quicker. He needed to be a lot quicker with that kind of weight.
Okay, the bar goes to 190 kilos, and now we have the first attack on that leading snatch from the B group. That was 186. This is 4 kilos more, and it announces the arrival on the stage of Yevgeny Janasek for Belarus. 26 years of age, weighed in at 150.62 kilos. Very steady at the bottom there.
To fight to stop that one going out the back door.
Did a fair job at the London Olympics. He made all 6 lifts and contributed 196 kilos to his total of 230 at the Olympics.
Yevgeny Janasek, приготовить себя.
So this for 3 out of 3, and he's taking the 5 kilo lift here, which is going to take him on to 190, and it's going to take him into 1st place. I should say, Unan, 147.23 kilos, challenging Yevgeny Janasek, who has the lead at the moment, weighed in at 150 kilos. So this man just a little bit lighter.
Aleksiej Łowczew, Russia. First attempt, pierwsze podejście.
So still 2 men, in fact 3, who yet to take their first lift, and another one of those about to start. The bar at 191 kilos. It was announced for the Russian Lovchev. Here he comes. Runner-up last season in the under-23 European Championships, and also a former Universiade bronze medalist, but then he was lifting at 105 kilos. Now this man is at 129 kilos. This for the lead.
First attempt there, sitting him really deep into that squat position. Very comfortable overhead.
Yeah, if you go back through the past winners of this super heavyweight category, when it was established in 1998, Shemerkin won it in 98 and 99, but then after that there have been 11 editions, and 6 of those have gone to Iran, the likes of Hossein Razazadeh and more recently Bedad Salimi. Pinanaj out for his 3rd attempt. Remember, he missed the first one. Well, it's a fair recovery, but he's ended up, Michaela, pretty well where we used to seeing him, you know, around about the 191, 192 kilo mark. So he hasn't really improved, and you've got to say that that's really down to the fact that he missed that first attempt. He hasn't been able to build on from that second attempt to the third attempt.
Well, if you're going to be nailing personal bests at this kind of level, you've got to be executing 3 out of 3.
Okay. Well, you want to know about super heavyweights? Here's one of the really big boys. Artem Udashin for the Ukraine. 169 kilos of him. But he's pretty useful on his day. Runner-up in the Europeans this year. Former world silver and bronze medalist. Just breathing a little heavily as he goes off stage there.
Well, the aim when we're lifting here in the snatch is to try and keep the bar as close to you as possible. No disrespect, but he's going to have to swing that bar. Didn't quite swing it enough. Catching it out in front.
Szanowni Państwo, podobno nie udało się Was pokazać za pierwszym razem. To jeszcze raz prośba od telewizji, podnieście ręce w górę.
What's your view about the
Tym razem poklaszczemy troszkę. Proszę
range of weight? Someone like Udashin, weighing 169 kilos.
Well,
it's not a healthy weight, is it?
Personal view, David, and I'm sure people will disagree with this, but there's no need for him to be that heavy. That, you know, the tummy he's carrying on him there is just impeding the line of the bar. I cannot see in any way, shape or form how that is going to benefit him. Yes, he's big, yes, he's the heaviest lifter in the group, and yeah, he's lifting one of the heaviest weights, but I'm sure if he trimmed down a bit, it would go in his favour.
Oh. Well, the speed of movement on the bar was good.
No i podejście niezaliczone.
Just can't keep the bar close. You can't have a good line of the bar with that physique.
Nie mam wyjścia, muszę zapowiadać raz jeszcze. Artem Udashin, Ukraine.
Came close to an Olympic medal in Beijing, but was beaten for the bronze by the great Skabatis of Latvia by 6 kilos on that particular occasion.
195.
It's Skabatis, one of the most popular super heavyweights and very solid achiever.
Udashin's putting his third attempt up to 195. This is going to bring out Mulai of Iran.
Skabatis, who won this title in 2007, that was in Chiang Mai on the eve of the Beijing Olympic Games, and now Bahadur Mulai for Iran. Now this is going to be fascinating to watch this fight, because we had thought that Badad Salimi, the world and Olympic champion, would be here, but those internal disputes have resulted in he and 4 other top lifters being left off the squad. Junior world silver medalist of 2 seasons ago. Very square, very solid.
Well, that's the way to do it.
He lifted pretty well this weight in the Universiade. He was runner-up in that last July in Kazan.
Fast, powerful, aggressive lifting.
So Udashin had a little bit of time, but he's under big pressure now. His day is done. You can just see, this is a man who's, as I said in the introduction, he's been a world silver medalist, he's been a world bronze medalist. All he's left with is the clean and jerk to go for. He's now 33 years of age, and how far might he be from being called time on, really? You just sense that Udashin has maybe had his time. Janasek, Belarus, 26 years of age. Now, started on 190, going for 196. A weight he lifted in the Olympics on the way to 9th place last year. Just see the way he sat there.
Well, the problem was he extended through the middle, just hesitated before dropping underneath, trying to get a bit more height on the bar with his upper body when he should have been dropping. Wasted an awful lot of time there getting underneath the bar. Watch the replay. Top hesitation.
So Russia now, Lovchev. Still to start, the other Russian, Ruslan Albagov. Albagov, the European champion of this season and also the Olympic bronze medalist. But this is his teammate. Second attempt, 5 kilo increase.
Aggression, great to see. He's really fired up for this.
Well, this is definitely a title the Russians would love to win. Well, talking about Ruslan Albagov, he's the next man due out. Albagov, who actually posted a 200 opener, has come down from that to 197. Doesn't mean that the warm-up necessarily went wrong. It just means that he might be reacting to the state of play, because this would put him into first place straight away.
Ruslan Albagov, Russia.
Well, that's the most impressive exercise we've seen so far. Now, you're shaking your head, but I was impressed with that.
Yeah, technically not bad, just missing a bit of extension at the top. He's going to need to really drive harder with those legs to get the next couple of lifts. Just gone just a fraction more extension through the lift. But other than that, fantastic. Very dynamic, very powerful.
You're from fine, Michaela. I mean, I guess, how was it with you? You got the first attempt in and you were just that little bit more comfortable, slightly more relaxed, confidence, a little bit more?
I always started very, very close to my best, so there was never any comfort with the first lift. But yeah, you do feel, I guess, a bit more relaxed, and you can go out there and really try and execute, knowing that you've got a lift on the board.
Janasek to respond here to that 197 success. If he gets it, Janasek if he gets it, but he doesn't. Otherwise, he might have gone into the lead.
Well, in contrast, David, Janusek there, very slow. Not quite the same spark that we just saw.
Well, this is fascinating now because we've got one Russian, Alexei Lovchev, with one attempt to come. The bar has gone for him to 2:02. The young Iranian Mulai with 2 attempts and the bar up to 200. Albagov has put the bar up to 2:02, but there's only 3 lifters alive at the moment. Albagov leads, Lovchev's in second place, Mulai in third, so it's these 3 at the moment dicing for the medals. Now this 200 will put the Iranian into the lead. It's a 5 kilo increase, but he weighed in at 137. Albagov at 153, Lovchev at 129. So Lovchev has the edge in terms of body weight. Well, I wanted to see a real fight, and these Iranians, I said, they've won 6 of the 11 competitions since this weight category was established, and that was pretty good.
It was a very confident lift for a young man, really fast underneath the bar.
And you might have seen Hossein Rezazadeh, the president of the Iranian Weightlifting Federation, in the back room. He, of course, still the record holder for the clean and jerk and the total. His absent world and Olympic champion Badad Salimi holds the Snatch world record of 214. Don't think we're going to get there today. Now Lovchev. Now this will put him into first place if he can do it, because he's that bit lighter than the Iranian. And still Albagov with 2 to play for with his attempts.
Have you finished, Frankie?
But for Lovchev, the last roll of the dice in this part of the competition for him. Superb. Asked and answered. Pleasing, Michaela.
It was absolutely fantastic lifting there. 3 out of 3, that's the way to do it.
So Lovchev moves up from third into the lead, and the bar going up to 2:02 for Albagov's second attempt. But in fact 2:03, because Albagov's put the bar to 2:05, which obliges Mulai of Orion to come in here for 2:03. But this would be a great little series when you consider in July in the Universiade that he lifted 196. That was really very much a tune-up competition for him. But you've also got to remember that he is only 21 years of age, so he is the least experienced, but certainly not the least talented.
I'd say least experienced, but phenomenally talented. Isn't he doing well?
Yeah, he is. And we need him to stay in there to keep this all alive and not let the Russians, sort of run away with this. 203, well, all the way along here, these are new marks for him. But he'll be well aware of the responsibility he carries on his shoulders for the country. They've got such a good record in this super heavyweight class. What a good boy. Well, You absolutely cannot complain. 195, 200, 203, measured increases all the way. And goes into the gold medal position. Lovchev down to second, Albagov only third at the moment. And so now on to Ruslan Albagov. Albagov, the bar at 205, second attempt. So this for the gold medal in the snatch and a 2 kilo advantage. And there we are, Russia, another gold medal. But still, at this moment in time, Michaela, only 5 kilos between the first three.
Some superb lifting there.
It's what Albagov chooses to do now. Can't imagine he's going to do less than 210.
The bar automatically goes to 206.
Yeah, he's never done 210. He's done 208.
The technical officials on the platform here just have a look at the bar. There's some blood on the bar. The load has come out now with some white spirit.
Yeah, it's Pedro Sanchez, one of the two technical controllers.
Well, this is a bit of tactics as well from the Russians. You can see the Russian coach there. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's asking for the platform to be swept as well. All of this, while all of this is going on, the clock cannot start, so he's buying his lifter a bit more time. Lifters used to, or coaches used to do this all the time. They have clamped down on it now.
And remember, when the clock does start, he's got 2 minutes because he's following himself. So that must have gained the best part. Well, it's still gaining. It's gained the best part of a minute already.
He's using a wire brush on the bar now to get rid of the excess chalk, and in doing so, that will clear most of the blood off the bar. Notice they're doing that off the platform, obviously, so they don't get the chalk on the platform. Don't want to make it slippery. It also gives the medical team time to strap that hand.
But he can prowl around. And then, of course, they're not going to take 206, are they? That's the other thing.
No, they'll put that up. Yeah. They could put it up twice, you know, David. They could put it up to maybe 208 and then 210. Each time they increase the weight, the clock has to stop.
There, the Iranians. He looked pretty happy, Mulai, and so he should do. You know, because that's the Iranians' second medal of the championships, whatever. Got a bronze in the 105 kilo clean and jerk, and the bar going to 209. So 209 would give him a 6 kilo advantage over Bahadur Mulai of Iran, and it would give him a 9 kilo advantage over Alexei Lovchev. And then it would be pretty massive down to Peter Naj on 191. That'll be 18 kilos. So already this competition has taken a certain and decisive shape, hasn't it? Between the two Russians and the Iranians. So 209 kilos. And by a kilo. new personal best and a really useful advantage now.
Yeah, he needed that advantage, take the pressure off going into the clean and jerk, just put the pressure back on everybody else, but had to work hard on this, caught it overhead, but bar going forwards, he did the right thing by driving straight out. If he'd sat at the bottom, he'd have probably lost that forwards. Drove straight out, managed to get back underneath it. It's a great sequence of lifts.
So we come to the halfway stage of the competition, and it's Russia 1 and 3, interrupted by Bahadur Mulai of Iran, who's taken the silver medal position. But those three are really well away from the rest. And there you have confirmation. And of course, one thing I didn't anticipate, Michaela, was the demise of Artem Udashin in this competition. I thought he'd be there or thereabouts in the mix, so that's one big opponent out of the way, the Ukrainian.
Yes, he was a big threat, but at the end of the day you've got to be able to execute on the big stage when it matters, and unfortunately today it wasn't to be.
18 kilos though, separating first and fourth. So 9 minutes to go before we get back underway with the clean and jerk.
225, Evgeny Zhornasek, Belarus.
Janasek from Belarus taking a 5 kilo increase. Now this would put him into first place both in the total and the clean and jerk. It would give him a total of 415. Janasek, top 10 in the London Games. Best ever medal performance that came a couple of years ago, 2011 in Kazan, where he totaled up 410, got 6 out of 6 lifts there, and took the bronze medal in the Europeans.
A little soft with the arms.
Yeah, I just wonder. Yeah, absolutely right. Right arm for you, just a little soft. Maybe a press out.
Both of his arms. I was the left one that jumped out at me, but it might have been both of them. Really need a front view to get the best.
Yeah,
best look
I might
at
see the left one from here.
Arms have to go to lock and stay there.
Well, I think the right arm definitely a press out.
Very soft, wasn't it?
So, correct decision by the referees.
The same weight, 225.
So, Yunan coming out for 225 for his third attempt. Again, here's a man who failed at 220, put it right, now goes to 225. He's currently in third place in the clean and jerk. This would take him to 410. Still well below his national games achievement, but that was then and this is now. That was well enough executed for me. So he's going to get the white light, surely. He does, he gets all three. Good lift. And that gives him a finishing total of 410 and moves him up into the overall medals, into second place at the moment, and the lead in the clean and jerk.
Has to work so hard all the way through this. Doesn't look comfortable on the shoulders, but drives to arm's length. It's a big effort.
So what could Breezy's gym in Aberdeen offer a super heavyweight who put his head above the parapet and said, okay, I'll give this a go?
Well,
steak dinners?
I don't know about that. They get my coaching. They get a world-class facility in terms of equipment. We've got, you know, the very best of the best, the Lyco kit all the way through. But my support, we're trying to develop, not just me, there's a few of us in Wales trying to develop a strong Welsh squad going forwards that can be competitive and represent Great Britain too.
Janasek. Final attempt, not brilliant.
Jerk, very good.
Yes. And eventually stood still. And despite the miss at 225, putting on an extra kilo, gave him a little bit more time, goes into the lead, 416 kilos. Leads the clean and jerk and the total, and Peter Naj back on again. Just reflecting on some of the great totals achieved, just to put everything in perspective. The last two World Championships won by Beded Salimi of Iran, 464, 453. The Korean An Yong-kwon, 445, 461 from Rezazadeh, who won the world title no less than 4 times. His best, 472 in 2002. And that's the best ever total in the World Championships, and indeed is the world record. Well, I've got to say, not one of his better days, really.
No, he's not setting the world on fire here today, is he? Just lacking the spark which needed.
I didn't see from the beginning this man as being really one of the medalists, but you've just got to put the lifts in. If you know, the percentages are against him when he, makes these mistakes. Well, just to bring you up to date with opening lifts, because there are quite a few lifters out in the warm-up room who've yet to start. Udashin, remember him, the Ukrainian who bombed in the first part of the competition, didn't get any snatches, but he's still alive for the clean and jerk, 235 for the Ukrainian. That should be his opening weight. Mohamed Ehsan for Egypt, 230. Albagov of Russia, who's already got 1 gold medal from the snatch phase, 250. Bahadur Mulai coming in at 245, we think. Lovchef at 230. And this is the Brazilian taking a 5 kilo increase from 223. And this would give him 410 kilos as the total.
Look at the difference in contrast. Driving through the bar with the legs, and all the arms did was catch it overhead. That's what I'm referring to when I say that a lot of lifters are trying to use their upper body too much. He didn't, he used his technique.
Trzecie podejście. Fernando Sarajvais i lepiej przygotowuje się do postu 29.
So Janasek leads at the moment for Belarus with 416. Second place at the moment is Peter Naj on 411, and third at the moment is Fernando Saraiva Reis of Brazil with 410. So Naj going for 228, 8 kilo increase now, up to 419. Not to be, and for me, he's made 3, he's lost 3, but that is, I have to say, a subpar performance.
Yeah, not great in terms of his own capability and where we're hoping he can go. He'll be back to fight another day.
Egypt, first attempt. Split for panią. 180 podwyższa. Zatem Aleksiej Lovchev, Russia. First attempt, pierwszy patron 230.
So now the first of the three men involved in the medal fight, really. Lovchev, the bar at 230, which is his announced weight to come in here. Lovchev. Again, I would say that this should be fairly straightforward. He'd go into the overall lead straight away. Okay, so the first of the big three strikes with 230 to start his chase for overall and clean and jerk honours there.
A good clean, driving up straight. Jerk hit behind the bar. It's the only thing I can fault with that, but other than that, great lifting. Very solid opening attempt.
Now the Brazilian. The bar on 230. Now, the coach told me 231 is the Brazilian record. Why doesn't he ever go at that? Why does he go to 230? That's only 2 kilos up from what he's done.
Maybe there was a miscommunication
Well, come
when
on.
you were speaking to him.
Well,
maybe this is it.
no, it's not. I wrote it down on a piece of paper. It's definitely 231.
Probably the answer to your question, David.
It's academic, but he ends up on 410 kilos. Well, what can you say? 410, it's 17 kilos up on what he did in Paris in 2011.
That's more in the head than anything. Not believing in himself. When you've thrown your shoulders that far back, it's very hard to get underneath.
So Atia Mohamed Ehsan from Egypt now. First attempt, 231. Now brought forward 185. Down in 8th place at the halfway stage. So he really needs some big numbers if he wants to pull himself back into this competition. But of course he could just as well focus on the clean and jerk.
Well, like the snatches, caught the lift very high, didn't sit into a full squat position very quickly. That's because he's strong enough to do it. Let's see how he goes in the next few lifts. See here, caught it very high and then just sunk the last bit. Long dip.
So here is Artem Udashin, 33 years of age, the most experienced of all these lifters, and his lifting goes way back. Competed in Athens, missed out on the bronze medal there, was disqualified for a while after the 2003 championships. But 232, brought the bar down from 235 to 232. That's his first success.
I look quite sharp. Obviously frustrated from the snatch, wanted to come out and execute here. Clean and jerk, and he did that. on his first attempt.
Partia udaczy ukraińskiego ten.
He's moving that weight very, very fast.
240, proszę.
As you said, he could only himself by just trimming off a bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Not easy though to get that sort of weight off though, Michaela.
Well, I don't know. I think you look at the calorie intake, it's got to be quite significant. With a little bit of cardio work, doesn't have to be running or anything silly like that. It could simply be walking. You can see how much it's taking out of him, just walking up onto and off the stage. Easily shred another 30, 40 kilos there and still be a competitive super heavyweight.
And Lovchev onto the stage now for 240 kilos. 10 kilo increase. So he's in first place now. He's trying to build here. He knows that he's going to be attacked by Albagov. He knows that he's going to have to hold off the likes of Bahadur Mulai. But getting his lifts in now, you just never know. There may be one or two twists in the tail before we get to the end of this. And Lovchev, at 24, a year younger than his teammate. But the Russians with very strong talent in these heavy, and in this case, super heavyweight classes.
Needs to keep pushing. That's right elbow. Right elbow,
Or left elbow. Yeah. It's the elbow. And that I fear might be the end of his lifting.
Yeah, if he has tweaked that elbow, I don't think he's not. Don't send him out for a third attempt.
That's the Turkish doctor there, dropped on duty. Well,
Yeah, just going backwards there slightly. That's more of a ligament tweak, I would have thought, than anything else. See how hard he's working. I'd be really disappointed if the coaches sent him out for a third attempt after having strained that, because that's when he's at real risk of causing some serious injury.
yeah, he'd still be facing a hefty 10 kilo increase. Now, I was saying a couple of moments ago, there might be a few twists in the story before we get to the end of it now. Can this man provide one of those twists? Going up 9 kilos here. He's currently in the overall silver and clean and jerk medal position.
Shame, taking a long time with the bar on his shoulders, and as he dipped, he drifted forwards. It's going to send the bar forwards. Didn't look too bad, but obviously body positioning was affected as a result.
But having just seen one of the major players lose,
he probably won't be aware of what's going on. He would have been focused just off stage, ready to come out. He probably wouldn't really have taken in much of what's gone on just before him.
so at the moment he would have to come out and follow himself, because on 242 and confirmation from the back room that Lovchev, well, they've obviously taken your advice, Michaela, and he's not going to come out again, but probably not a question of anything other than an obvious decision.
Yeah, hopefully he will recover from that, and I'm sure he's going to recover a lot quicker than if they sent him out again.
He's still in the lead, but you sense that as a result of that injury, he's going to be gathered in. Well, there it is, the situation in the total at the moment. But remember, Albagov yet to start, Mulai yet to start his challenge. And it is surely going to be the Egyptian who's got to come in again and try this. But remember, he can't affect the overall positions. The only people who can affect the overall positions are Albagov and Mulai. So looking at this situation, quite interesting here. You've got Lovchev in first place at the moment.
He's going to be guaranteed a medal even after declining that third attempt.
Well, a sad end to the competition. He ends up with only 3 out of 6 as well. And he's left in second place in the clean and jerk, second place in the overall ranking. And it really is a case here of what might have been had he lifted it the second time and then had a third attempt with a couple more kilos.
That's right, he's in second place as it stands right now, but we've still got 2 lifters yet to start.
Okay. Iran won this title thanks to the world Olympic champion Dad Salami, but can Mulai, can he possibly overcome the likes of Ruslan Albagov? That's his big opponent now. And Albagov has come down, by the way, from 250 to 245 for his opener. Great clean. Pretty comfortable all the way through that.
Yeah, speed and technique combined will execute the big weights. Yeah, he looks very confident, body language coming off, very business-like. He's like, yeah, come on, next weight on, I'm ready.
That's 4 out of 4.
How little room there is on the end of the bar now for the weights. Goodness me, look at those discs hanging off the end. Those small discs that are on the outside of the collars, they're made in a certain way so they don't slide on the bar, which makes changing the weights a lot quicker.
So, just worth remembering, Udashin just involved in the clean and jerk competition. Second attempt, 241, makes nothing of it. But can't finish it. Well, he was doing that weight in the spring.
No problem, was it?
No.
Quite enough legs there today.
Now, I'm pretty sure that both Mulai and Albagov will want to put Udashin in again, sort of get rid of him. Slight annoyance. There's Razazadeh on the left of the picture there, talking to Mulai. And there's the situation in the clean and jerk. But remember, Albagov only coming out now for his first attempt, and he's reduced from 250 to 242.
I believe he brought it down to 245 and then again to 242. Is that because he's watching what everybody else is doing, or because he's been struggling with a warm-up?
I would guess the former.
I hope so. Very comfortable clean.
And completes in the required fashion there, and of course now re-establishes himself at the top of the rankings.
Pozostaje ciężar bez zmian. Bahadur Mulay, Islamic Republic of Iran, second attempt. Podwyższa. Pozostaje 240.
Solid overhead, driving that bar to arm's length.
Artyom Udaci, Ukraine, third attempt, trzecie podejście.
We've had one or two lifters like Albagov who come here with 2 competitions under their belt. He won the Universiade with 4:59. He won the European Championships with 4:42. That followed up off the bronze medal. So, you know, in these championships over the last 12 months or so, he's been in pretty good nick, and his percentages have been good. The Universiade he had 6 out of 6. The Olympics he did 4 out of 6. But this is Udashinin for 2:42. Doesn't get it, but just stays in 3rd place. So, at the end of the day, he's got a bronze medal out of it.
Well, 1 out of 6 lifts, and he still comes away with the bronze. It just shows the talent that this man has when he can perform on the day. It's a shame.
55. Well done, Zabar, please. Bahadur Mulay.
Well, there's high stakes poker going on here. 141 to 155. Certainly doesn't need this weight to take the lead. He only needed 6 kilos more than Albagov, which would have been a 148. He's gone for, sorry, 248. He's gone for a 255.
Well, he's had a chat with Razazadeh. They've had a word together. And Razazadeh said, look, I've left out the Olympic champion and the world champion and the silver medalist. For goodness sake, get out there, otherwise I'm going to have real egg on my face. Now you just get out there and make this lift.
I think he's only got one thing in mind if he's taking this jump on his 2nd attempt. Well, let's see if he can nail this first.
Or can he clean it?
He's so fast, David. If he can attack it like he did the first one.
He did 2:54 this year in the Universiade when he was beaten by Albagov, but they both actually did the same weight. Oh my goodness gracious me, is he going to do it? Oh, what a fantastic attempt. Bring that right foot forward. Let's get it in line. That's terrific. Iran are really fighting to keep their dominance of the super heavyweights. Well, he's not going to go up to 264 and try and take over Razazadeh's record, even if he wanted to.
Razazadeh would let him,
No, don't. Yeah. He'd actually make him go to 262 and just say, I'm still the boss.
Albagov now, the pressure really is on him. He's been forced to follow suit and go from a 242 to a 255. This will only be 2nd in the clean and jerk, but will put him back into the lead for the overall.
Boy, this is big. 13 kilos. As I said, they matched each other in the Universiade with 254. So can they match themselves here on 255? No, press out. Couldn't do it anyway, and that means advantage Iran. Because now Bahadur has put the bar up to 256. And just a reminder of body weight here, the Iranian 137 kilos, Albagov 153, so the Iranian's got body weight on his side as well.
But he has. The only thing here, he just needs to drop that bit lower. It's a real shame now. Mulay really is in driving seat, forcing Albagov back out. Albagov's going to have to come out and take this. It'd be silly to try and go any heavier. If Albagov can nail this, it puts the pressure back on Mulay.
There you go. That's the clean and jerk. And you can see Bahadur Mulay, 5 out of 5. What do we say? Every night we've been here, 6 out of 6, you get a reward. Sometimes you get a very big reward. So, Mulay Bahadur, junior world champion in 2011, junior world silver medalist in 2012. failed to total at the Asian Games, didn't get any of his clean and jerks, but then went Asian Championships, I should say, and then went to the Universiade and got 5 out of 6 lifts and totaled 450. He's now sitting on 458. Albegov. Universiade won it with 459. European Championships only had to collect 442 there. If he makes it, the competition's still alive. If he doesn't, the title goes to Iran. Can he make it? The competition is still alive.
Wow, that was superb lifting. Isn't it great to see at the end of the day? Final competition, all coming down to the final lift. He's done everything he possibly can. He's now going to go and sit and watch and wait.
Well, that takes Albegov to 464, and that is 4 kilos ahead. So it's 4 kilos that actually Mulai needs. But he's put the bar to 261.
261.
But unless I'm wrong, Michaela, I mean...
He needs 6 kilos more.
Oh, he needs 6 kilos more, doesn't he? Yeah, so he does need the 261 just to level up on body weight and then win it with body weight. But this would be a mighty effort. And you can see what it's taken out of Albegov.
Well, that sure was a mighty effort. Don't know if he's trying to catch his breath there or saying a little prayer.
Moira Lassen, the technical controller on the stage here. Just look at, they're literally right on the edge of that bar. I'm not sure whether this little delay is actually helping Mulai.
I think Moira's just asked for that disc to be put on the inside of the collar.
Yeah.
They are designed to sit on the outside, but better safe than sorry. But they've only done it on one end of the bar.
Yeah, which is daft. Well, 261. Albegov trying to recover in the back room. And once again we have the final lift of the championship, the final lift of the 213 World Championships. 261, 6 kilo increase. If he makes it, the title stays with Iran. If he misses, it goes to Russia. 15 seconds.
Isn't he fast?
The clean. Oh, come on, oh! What an incredible young man. The title goes to Russia, but they were lucky. They were lucky because the Iranian, only 21 years of age, relatively inexperienced, in fact, very inexperienced at senior rank, and he pulled off the silver medal for Iran. I feel that's a fantastic personal achievement for him. And Albegov, well, big relief for the Russians.
I think, you know, fantastic achievement for all of them. Albegov really had to dig deep then to find that previous lift.
And Lovchev of Russia getting the overall bronze. But this was so near at one point.
Oh, the clean was superb. The jerk very solid overhead just as he's recovering. Really not worth trying to hold on to it. So close.
Well, I hope Rezazadeh and all the Iranians are proud of this young man, because they should be. Albegov, perhaps fortuitous, but then he did get the better in the Universiade over Bahadur Mulai. And with these guys, the discipline medals, well, they're nice to have, but it's really all about the overall championship. This is one category where, you know, not too many are bothered about it. Artem Mudashin will be probably happy that he's got some consolation after an awful first half. So one more medal ceremony to carry out here, and I just think this has been, for a post-Olympic first World Championship of the new Olympic cycle, I think this has been a very, very good 8 days.
This has been an absolute pleasure to be part of, to be here to watch every single category and to see so many outstanding lifters and to see so many new lifters as well. I mean, China have given tickets to those lifters that have won the national games, and it's been a chance for them to come out here and show off what they can do, and they've executed. China, I think it'd be fair to say, dominated the first half of the week, and Russia the second. It really has been extraordinary competitions. The overall organisation has been fantastic as well, and they need to be congratulated for putting on a great show here.
I'm sure they think that he's a star back home. I mean, what a job he's done. And there you have the final rankings. Ruslan Albagov, 464. Bahadur Mulai, terrific effort there to take the overall silver. Russia getting the bronze as well, thanks to Alexei Lovchev. And then the Egyptian at 416, quite a way off, but I wonder what would have happened if he'd have got one or both of those clean and jerk second or third attempts.
Zajmujący się porządkiem